This would be not fair to say. But this is a development of collective conscience of humanity, collective conscience of the countries. They keep on, whole world was in the state of war. There were centuries. Not only Muslim world, the Christian world was also. The issues were resolved through wars. This was the common international practice. Even the pagan society up till the medieval period, the issues, the conflicts were resolved through wars and fights. But the time realized before the First World War, at the First World War and the League of Nations, that a time has come that we should try to resolve the disputes through peacemaking efforts and through dialogue and through communication. And United Nations finally came into existence. So this is a collective development of communities. But this is a chance that whatever is the result of collective development of communities is the same what was injunction given, what was educated and what was constructed, what was instructed and what was revealed by Quran and Holy Prophet 1400 years before. There's no conflict between the two.
Thank you. Yes, you have a question.
Thank you. My name is Irfan Malik. I'm with Pakistan American Public Affairs Committee. And I want to thank Sheikh for coming, visiting us in Washington, D.C. And I pray and hope you can visit us more often.
Thank you.
I first came to know of your work when Christiana Manpur interviewed you, and ever since, I've been following your work, and I hope and pray that they are more like you. My question is radicalization of the youth. I think that's really the area of concern for Muslim Americans over here, and probably for Muslims living in Europe as well. And I wanted to know if your organization, Minhajul Quran, or any other organization have programs for the youth where we can go or have messages that can be given to the youth through local imams, through their parents, or through the community leaders. And if any of these programs either exist in USA or in Europe or in Lahore, where you have your facility.
Thank you very much. It's a very important question, please. As far as other organizations are concerned, you can find out their activities, what kind of programs they are running. They would be better in giving the answer and details. As far as the Minhajul Quran organization, our organization is concerned, we have programmed. And there is multi-dimensional programs going on de-radicalization. One of the major event, part of the regular program, ongoing program, is Al-Hidayah, which takes place every year in England, in Warwick University. And next coming year in September, there is going to be a gathering of about 15 to 20,000 youth in London, Wembley Hall. Probably anywhere in some day in September, you will know through the internet. Just on de-radicalization. And I arrange a camp for the youth of 4 days camp. I stay there day and night and deliver my lectures 8 hours a day. 4 hours with question answer in the morning, 4 hours with question answer in the evening, and then every single day 2 to 3 scholars for their talks. They are also invited from Arab world and English world. So this is a 4-day continuous camp. One thing. Then through literature, we are trying to de-radicalize the youth. This is a very big de-radicalization camp. I think youth are, they will feel, when they come only they can feel what they are receiving from here. Second big step which we have taken, that is an establishing of a university. We have finished the, you can say, dichotomy of the religious and secular education according to the old Islamic educational system. We have abolished madrasa systems. We have taken the steps. Although I have established by the grace of God one university which is chartered by the government of Pakistan, includes all disciplines, religious, spiritual, social sciences and human sciences, chemistry and economics and physics and mathematics and managerial sciences and computer sciences, all relevant subjects as other universities with full-fledged disciplines you find. And there we are concentrating on the religious sciences and spiritual sciences too as a combined discipline. The youth, they get up for tahajjud. They live with wudu, with ablution. They have a very specific moral code of conduct. And then they have their training camps. for youth, male and for females. Sometimes 1 week camp we organize in Pakistan and in other countries too. Sometimes 15 days camp, sometimes 1 month camp, just to de-radicalize youth and spiritualize the youth. When I talk of de-radicalization, I talk on 3 sides: intellectual aspect, the practical aspect, and spiritual aspect. So we work on all 3 dimensions. So annually there is another program of itikaf under Minhajul Quran, where 50 to 60,000 Muslim and 90% or 80% out of them are youth. 50-60,000 Muslims stay with me for 10 days and night in itikaf, last 10 days of Ramadan. And I deliver my training speech after Salatul Taraweeh to Tahajjud 5 to 6 hours every night. Then there is a 24-hour schedule, full-fledged schedule for 10 days. They get education, they get properly motivated, then they go with this message out there. In the same way, we have established halaqat of zikr, halaqat of fikr, and halaqat of salutations, durood, so that we may spiritualize the people and take them away from extremistic tendencies. Then we have programs of literature, dozens and many books on this kind of subject. As I mentioned, I've written Khilafah and Democracy, small chapters and a big book. In the way ijtihad, perception and reality, this fatwa, human rights, non-Muslim rights, then we have established a big program of interfaith dialogue, where I mentioned, I think here, or in the office, I think.
In the office, yes.
Where the Christians, delegates come every year to Minhajul Quran and break their fast, and we arrange dinner for them in the last fast of their religion. And our mosque is open for the Christian delegates to pray according to worship according to their faith. So we have set a model, and we have a close interaction between our mosques, Minhajul Quran and centers, and churches and temples. They come to us, our people go there, and we have joint sessions and joint walks and joint seminars. There are many other, and particularly for here we have online programs. Online program of teaching of Quran and teaching of Islamic studies, and there is a program online scholar online. I think it is weekly, weekly scholar online. So the people can join. They are arranging in Texas, in various states of the US. So people sit there and they give the subjects whatever they need, and with full preparation, one scholar either from Pakistan or from England or from other countries, they deliver their talks and question answers to educate the people. So according to the timings of those countries, 24-hour various programs are running online. So alhamdulillah, there are quite a few dozens of very humble efforts which we are trying to do to de-radicalize the youth. I hope, inshallah, our humble efforts and efforts of all other organizations and people will bring good results.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any plan to introduce these programs in USA, especially the youth camps? And
it can be done. The youth camps can be done if some people organize. So the youth camp can be done in USA. It can be done 3 days youth camp if some people come out and they take responsibility of organizing. So the same kind of camp for 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 youth can be arranged in US too. It would be good. De-radicalization camp in US better.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum.
First, let me thank you for this exceedingly thoughtful and informative discussion here today. I think it's been helpful for everyone here in the room. My name is David Hunsaker, and I'm from the United States Agency for International Development, and I work in the Office of Conflict Management and Mitigation there. And my question is focused on the substance of what you presented here today, and what you present in the 600-page fatwa demonstrates the unanimity with which mainstream Islamic scholars and the mainstream Islamic community has viewed the use of violence, its limits, and when it's permissible, when it's not permissible. And given this unanimity over 1,400 years in terms of how these things have been understood, what is it today that has allowed for these concepts to be hijacked? And what needs to be done beyond simply issuing a fatwa that basically draws from all of these traditions. I mean, looking through your fatwa, I see that you're not just drawing on one tradition, you're drawing on that. The interpretations of the Hadith scholars, not just Hanafi scholars, the Shafi'i scholars, others.
Yeah.
And what needs to be done to take this a step further to empower scholars to get this message that has been agreed upon for so long out to a broader audience and be more broadly implemented in order to take back the dialogue?
Thank you very much. Thank you. The actual text of fatwa has yet to come for you to study. Whatever you have seen, that is the brief summary.
I looked briefly at the Urdu
The
version,
Urdu one,
but
Arabic
I
text.
understand the Arabic enough that I
Yes,
can
Arabic
pick out
text.
the pieces.
But this is under print. It is under print, and I hope next month the whole full English text of fatwa would be in your hands, and the Arabic text will also be, inshallah, in your hands the next 2 months. I agree with your analysis. The only problem is what we are supposed to do, that the activists, the terrorists, extremists, the radicals, they are always active. That's why they are activists. And the mainstream Islam, the Muslim scholars, they are always silent because they are peaceful. And the peace is never active. It remains inactive, silent, dormant. So the majority of Muslim Ummah, they have isolated themselves from ongoing problems of the society. We need to activate them so that their voice becomes vocal, their voice becomes loud, they are heard, and they should stand up collectively and actively to condemn that all these activities being done by a very handful of terrorist people. That is not Islam, which, as I have explained and other authorities have been saying, and scholars, they need to be vocal and loud. Major role, I have been saying the same thing for the last 30 years, but I was also unheard. This is not a new thing which I have said. I wrote more than 15 books on these subjects from early 19 to last year. 5, 6, 7 books on human rights, different non-Muslim rights, children rights, women rights, common human rights, animal rights and subjects, non-violence, interfaith harmony, all these things. Then as I mentioned, Khilafah and democracy and these subjects. But I was also unheard. This was just fortunate that when I issued this fatwa, maybe because of this term or a very clear-cut, categorical, absolute condemnation of terrorism, without any if and but, and without conditionality, it was picked up, and the whole Western media received it very nicely, and I am thankful for that, because they made it popular, and this voice then approached everywhere, and people started thinking, no, whatever we have been listening from that side, that is not Islam, there is something else. So the only basic thing is we have to